Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is a spin-off game in the Baldur's Gate series. Many compare it to Diablo, but as I haven't played that, I'm comparing it to X-Men Legends, Ultimate Alliance, and Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, as they fall into the same kind of genre. Interplay is the creator, and they use the same engine for Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, which I hated that game. But this game I remember liking because I played it super briefly as a child at a friend's house. And based on these online reviews, it seems everyone says this is a good game. Plus, it got a sequel, so it's gotta be good, right? So I bought it to play with my buddy Gage. The first complaint I have is that there's only 3 playable characters. Sure, you can unlock a 4th, but that seems like a kinda small roster. Games like Ultimate Alliance or X-Men Legends, which are the same genre, have like 20 plus characters. So I chose the mage, primarily because I was hoping she had a healing spell, and spoiler alert, she does not. Gage chose the dwarf, I assume for his good looks. We start within a tavern, and the people inside are our quest givers and traders for items. The game does feel a little too early 2000s to me in terms of dialogue and character designs, but it's not outright awful. It's not as terrible as like Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. One thing that was immediately noticeable is that you start off super weak. We were playing on normal and the game was quite challenging. And while sometimes I enjoy a higher difficulty, that's usually when it is a test of my skill and not when it's just built to be exploited. Multiple times in the game, hiding and shooting little magic missiles was a strategy the game wanted me to do. There were many times where I was one hit killed at full health by just normal enemies until I had better equipment. And you may say, okay, well, get good, scrub. First off, shut the fuck up, and second off, let me continue. A viable strategy used multiple times is to make sure we fight by the respawner so we can come back infinitely so death won't matter and I can just hack away at the enemy. And this was an intended way to play. They intended you to have to use cheap gimmicks to beat their things. In games like, let's say, X-Men Legends, when you die, and when you go back to the respawner, it costs you money to respawn. And it's built more around this so that you don't want to die, to make you have to respawn. But with Baldur's Gate, dying is like a strategy you often use. Purposefully, the game made it this way. It's weird. They intend you to use weird or cheap gimmicks to beat their things. And if you don't believe me, there's this room where you have to try to kill all the enemies and you can't leave. Every time you do kill those enemies, you have to hit this orb. Then you repeat the process multiple times till the orb's gone. So what's wrong with that? Lots of games have something like that. Well, reason one is we could still get killed in 1 or 2 hits, even with some of the best armor the trader had to offer. We were getting kind of decked out in our armor and our weapons and stuff, and we were still getting 1 to 2 hit kills. Reason 2, it's not like we could grind up and level up. We had already killed all the enemies at this point, and these were all that was left, so we cannot grind. Reason 3, and most importantly, the way to win this is to run in circles, and every now and then you go hit one enemy and hope you don't get hit, and then you run away. This is very tedious, it is very long, it is very boring, it takes forever, and I thought to myself, surely that can't be the way to do it. I came up with multiple plans on how maybe we could do it this way, maybe we could do it this way, and none of them worked. So I looked it up online to see walkthroughs. How did they do it? What was it they were doing that we were missing? But every walkthrough I saw, every walkthrough I read, said to run in a fucking circle and sometimes hit the enemies and then rinse and repeat. And if you get hit or you need your magic to go up, it can take quite a lot of time at these levels because you're a low level, so it goes real slowly. And you level up real fucking slowly in this game. So we just ran and we 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 ran, and every death meant we had to start over. And it takes so long. Over an hour we spent here. And throughout this game, both Gage and I were like, maybe we should stop. This isn't very fun. But then we would push through. It would feel a little better. We'd be like, okay, now the game's gonna get good. But no, this spot here was our breaking point. What the hell was this? Now, could we have beat it? I'm sure yes, eventually. But this is not how to do hard difficulty. This is not rewarding in any way. This is just annoying. So yeah, we quit. I never finished it. I didn't feel it was worth my time. That being said, I like things about it. I like the concept of the game. I like that there's a giant town outside, even if it runs at the frame rate of a picture book. And there are many voice actors within this game I really like, and have been in other RPGs I really like. I feel like I'm missing something though, because many places rated this game a 9 out of 10. And I get, for 2001, this was a newish experience, and I get that nostalgia is a thing. But I swear I'm missing something because the level design and gameplay was so bafflingly unfun I don't understand. Using doorways to make sure enemies can't overwhelm you was what we always had to do. We were not badass adventurers, and again, sometimes difficulty can be fun. Sometimes not being badass can be fun. But some difficulty is just bad. So yeah, I know I'm missing something. I know so many of you who think this is a 9 out of 10 really hate my thoughts here. But this is how I feel. In terms of games that came out in 2001, I wouldn't even rate it in the top 10. In terms of fantasy games, not only were there better ones out that year, but Morrowind came out 1 year later. In terms of games that are like this, the X-Men Legend games, the Ultimate Alliance games, far superior. On top of that, I saw they had another fantasy one very similar to this, and it's called Champions of Norath, and it looks so much better, and it came out around the same time-ish, because it's on the PlayStation 2. So it at least came out in the same generation, and it looks far superior. I will probably give that a chance at some point, but I don't know. I'm willing to give this game another try sometime, I guess. But not only do I doubt I can convince any of my friends to play this with me again, but I doubt I will ever feel this game is like a 9 out of 10, like so many people say it is. It just felt really mediocre.